I don't like it. All right, all right, all right. Let's try to do something around here. We are live. It is Marquis, my inaugural YouTube experience. Thank you all. Whenever you guys find me, Lord. This is going to be interesting. Welcome to the chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by the community guidelines. We will do that. Let's see if any of my people will show up for me. Trishina Marks. Hey, did you find me? Oh God, I don't know what I'm doing here. This is gonna be a different kind of show. Oh, that's you, T Marie. Is that right? I don't like this camera. I'm telling you, this camera is unforgiving over here. I don't like that. Hey, we're trying to get some things going. Oh, thank you, Lord. Fix me up, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Okay. That looks a little better. It was easy to find me. Good. Very good. Very good. Very good. We'll see if we can get somebody else around here. I'm trying to see if there's a way for me to. Okay, I see copy link. I guess, yeah. What I got to figure out a way for me to be able to do backstage and all that kind of stuff where I can bring people up. So it's going to be a touch and go here for a while. But the good thing about it is I know how to talk and I can talk all night. So that won't be a problem until we figure out all this other stuff. Highlight, save your channel. Da 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 da. Can you hear me? Okay. T Marie, thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. We're gonna see if any of my other people will show up tonight so we can have this conversation. The picture I took was so ugly. That's what took so long. I was trying to retake the picture, and I couldn't. I was like, well, it just is what it is at this point. I got to get better at this thing. I got to get better at it. I am so ready to have this conversation. Tell me, T Marie, did you watch the Jamie Foxx special? Yeah, the picture was hideous. It was really bad. And I'm a perfectionist, so this right here is going to drive me crazy for a very long time until I figure it all out, get it all mapped out, and all up and running. So, yeah. Okay, you can hear me good. Good. Did you watch the Jamie Foxx comedy special? Please tell me you did. I hope you did. Were you able to get to me from the link, or did you type me up? Were you able to just hit the link at the top of my page? I told them 5 minutes. It probably took me about 10 to get here. We'll give them. Oh, wait a minute. We got 7 people here. Some of my people actually showed up. Listen, people, I don't know you're in the chat unless you start typing. It's a little different over here. There we go. There, my people. Hey, folks, this is my inaugural TikTok show. Again, I got a lot to learn at some point. And I'm hoping that my friend is here. Lavender is going to be my permanent co-host at some point. So once I get the software downloaded and I figure out how to get the stuff working, when we start going live on YouTube, it'll be a split screen with me on one side and her on the other side, which I think is going to make for a great dynamic on the show because, of course, we get along very well. Our chemistry is very natural. And of course, I have a male perspective. She has a female perspective. So we're going to be able to bring a lot to these live sessions. And of course, we just have to adjust to the typing, that kind of thing. But of course, we'll continue on in much the same way as we did on TikTok. Well, I'll still be having the interviews, that type of thing. The content will be a lot different because I got to find a different way to shoot it. But we're gonna do our best. You know what I mean? These sessions, the live sessions, I am going to start uploading to the YouTube page just so I can start building the subscriptions here, which will be beneficial to everybody in the long run. So that's the way that things are going to go. Okay, we got 8 people sitting. I need you to start typing, say hello, so I can know that you're in the room. We're definitely about to get started on the topic of the night. T Marie, being that you're the only one that I can see right now. Would you like to start with the trophy wife, or do you want to just jump right on into the conversation regarding Jamie Foxx? I'm ready for Jamie Foxx personally. Let me just read the comments. Um, you can hear me good. You watched it. You cried the whole time. You did both. Okay. Yeah. T Marie, I'm just gonna be quite honest with you. I absolutely I normally do not cry. I cannot think of the only thing that made me nearly tear up was when all the girls from Set It Off, end up passing. But oh, you love me, Aiden Carlos. Aiden, I love you right back. Thank you for showing up. Yo, what's up? How you doing? Sweats. If you all are coming over from my TikTok page, you're gonna have to give me your TikTok handle so I can know who you are. You guys, the names and faces aren't matching here, and I want to know who I'm talking to. Thank you for showing up though. But yeah, so Set It Off is what really did that one. That one makes me tear up. So that's a movie that I just simply can't watch anymore. Just because even though I know they're gonna die, and I still it gets me every time. So I cannot watch it, and I think that Jamie Foxx's Netflix special is going to join that ranks that I'm not going to be able to just watch it over and over again. I thought. Oh, what's the stream about? Right now, we're talking. There are two things that we're going to be talking about tonight. We're going to be talking about the Jamie Foxx Netflix special. I hope you've seen it. It's called "What Had Happened Was." It just came out within the last couple of days. So we're going to do a deep dive and have a discussion around the various controversies that have come out of it, as well as the ups, the downs, the goods, the bad, with regards to that actual Netflix special. And then we're going to give an update. We're going to talk about the trophy wife, right, the lady that came here from YouTube that became uber famous for her children being essayed by her husband. So we're going to handle both of those tonight during this session. So stick around. Normally I don't cry, but it was so emotional. Yeah. I guess I'll just call you Trishina here. Trishina. I and I only teared up once, so I'm not a punk. I only teared up once. What got me was when the daughter came on. You got me. Same thing. When the daughter came on stage after he gave us the story about her strumming the guitar and that helping to bring getting his vitals under control. And when she came out on the stage and started strumming the guitar, and he stood beside her, and he was telling her, play baby," and then he started crying, and that's when it hit me. That got me. And then when the screen came open and you saw him walking his daughter down the aisle, I think it's one of those moments for dads. I think any real daddy that has any real love for his daughter is going to feel something when you see that moment, because of course that's every daddy's dream to march their daughter down the aisle to get married. You know what I mean? And for him to be that young and for that to possibly be taken away from him, from a brain bleed and a stroke. You know what I mean? It's just I totally understood that. It just made me, that much more emotional about the whole matter, because I was, his daughter that was on stage is 14. My daughter is 16. And then of course that's my dream as well. I want to walk my baby down the aisle. I want to, do the daddy daughter dance and make it go viral, because of course ours is going to be choreographed to the T. You know what I mean? But to think about not being here, or that not being a real possibility, it just really got to me. So yeah, for that reason, I did shed a couple of thug tears for him. But I thought it was a very good show. Do you think that? And this is for everybody. Did you guys see this as a church service as well? I know. T Marie being a minister, she's gonna say no right away. But I felt that this was a combination of a comedy and a real life testimony, and to me it was a lot of church in in that place. You know what I mean? And I did the review here on YouTube that was pretty lengthy, and I divided the review into two parts. To me, this was church in one part and his pure comedy in the other part. His testimony, and what got to me in the testimony was that you could hear pins drop in the theater. When he was, I said when he became Eric Bishop. Jamie Foxx is a stage name. Eric Bishop is his real name. When he became Eric Bishop and that testimony began to flow from him, that is when I felt like it was full on church. It just that's what it felt like to me. And then of course he popped back into character and make you laugh. Thank you. Finally, we agree on something, Trishina. Yes, it was church. But yes, the cursing, if he would have taken the cursing out of it, it would definitely have been church the entire time. So that is where that is exactly what I got. We finally agree. It was church. That was straight up church. The two gospel numbers, or he called them inspirational songs, but they were basically gospel numbers that he did in the show. And they were just spectacular. They were great. But what I loved about it was that he punctuated the comedy, with this testimony. So anytime he gotten you deep into your feelings, he punch in with a joke. And to me, I think those are the best comedians. The best comedians are those that draw from real life. And that was it was a testimony. It was a testimony to end all testimonies. I've been seeing a lot of backlash from it. And even here on my YouTube page, I've seen people in the comment section. There are only a few comments, but the comments that I've seen are largely negative. People are basically saying that he was acting. They thought that it was all a put on, and things like that. I just don't think that you could pretend. I mean, again, he is an Academy Award winning actor, but I felt that the emotion and the tears coming from him were 100% real. You know what I mean? I thought they were real. Do you think? I mean, okay, I will say, okay, he had to have rehearsed a couple of those things, but I've been in public spaces where I've had to sing in public, or speak in public, and it's one thing in practice to do it. It's totally different when you're in front of the crowd. So, for me, I thought that he was on 100% authentic, especially when the daughters were on that stage and he was recounting those events. Did you feel like part of it was acting at all? I don't think so. I don't think it was acting. I really, really don't. I don't think it was acting, but there are a lot of people that absolutely thought that he was putting on, and I just can't agree with that. I think it just takes away from the testimony. And then there were people that were complaining that they thought it was not very funny and that it was too churchy. And I felt like the people that anybody that said it was too churchy were people that are not of the church, or are not, you know, are not very religious people. And that's, I know there's no hit against them, but to me, that this is a church boy. Again, you could take the man out of the church, but you cannot take the church out of the man. And Eric Bishop, that's a guy that's raised in church, so he came back to that same place. That's my opinion. I think it. Oh, here we go. Sweat. I think it felt a little unauthentic because the fact that he had to have rehearsed. I mean, but even if you rehearse it, it's totally different than being in that moment with hundreds of people in front of you. You don't think so? You know what I mean? And again, I have a daughter who's 16, and I can think of no, and I can say this. If you go back far enough on my YouTube or my TikTok page, you'll see the way that we did our gender reveal for my son. My son he's just turned 3. But the way that we did his gender reveal, um, my daughter, she was a dancer at the time, so she had this solo at a theater with thousands of people, and nobody in that theater knew that my wife was even pregnant. This We kept her out of the public for much of the pregnancy because it happened during the pandemic. So, the night of the show, she showed up, but she showed up after the show began, so nobody actually saw her even come into the theater or sit down. And so my daughter did this beautiful dance number. If you go back far enough on my YouTube page, you'll find it. But she did it to I think it was "What a Friend We Have in Jesus," the Mary Mary version, the R&B version. Um, and basically, by the time when she's on stage, it's her dressed in all white. She just looked angelic, and she completes the dance, and the entire time that she's dancing, there are clouds floating behind her on screen. And at the very end of the performance, the clouds part and the sonogram comes into to focus. And then it says, my baby brother come in December. His due date was December the 1st. He actually was born November the 30th. And I knew it was going to happen when she rehearsed it now. Um, and when she rehearsed it without the screen. So nobody knew that this is what this was going to look like, the finished product, including her. And even though she rehearsed the number, even though she knew the number, when she did the number, when she turned and looked at that screen, she cried. And I, in the audience, knowing I'd chosen this thing, I picked it out, I'd given the director the format for it, and I knew basically what it was going to look like. I still, shed tears behind it. So I cannot say that it was unauthentic, even though it was rehearsed. Again, when you're in the moment, though, those emotions are going to take over, especially when it's something that near and dear. This man is talking about having a stroke, a brain bleed, learning how to walk, shaking, the thought of his not being there for his daughters anymore. Those things will get anybody. You know what I mean? So I think it was 100% authentic, all through and through. I may be wrong. Somebody can challenge me on it, but I really do think it was very, very. I was waiting on the wrong live notification. Lamar, are you from TikTok? Are you from TikTok? You're gonna have to give me you have to give me another name. Who are you on TikTok? Yeah, I just cannot. I'm not, and I think for people um to challenge him in that way, it just diminishes the power of that testimony for me. When you say you're not being authentic, you're not being real, you're putting on, you know what I mean? To me, it just takes away from the testimony. Can we agree on that part, at least? To me, for you guys to challenge him in that way, I think it just takes away from the testimony. Why does everything have to be scrutinized? Why does everything have to be side-eyed, especially when it comes down to matters of the heart, matters of family, and fathers with daughters? I do think that the moment definitely affected him a lot. Okay, so we're coming closer together on that, sweet. Okay, cool. I think that's about as far as we're going to be able to go with that. But yeah, I think just being in the moment and having to relive those moments, because there have been times that I've sat on my TikTok and given my testimony with talking about how my wife nearly passing my with carrying our daughter who's 16. If you're a subscriber here, you've seen her plenty of times. She's in a lot of the shorts that we put on this page, and a lot of the reason why we're um, TikTok famous. Me and my daughter, both, and even my son, but especially my daughter because she's just super talented. But there have been times that I've sat with you all and given that testimony, and I still will weep, because when you're reliving those moments, that emotion, it never dissipates. It never quite goes away. So there have been times I've had to catch myself from tearing up just thinking about, especially now, seeing that she's almost an adult, you know what I mean, and growing and being all the things that the doctor said she wouldn't be. You know what I mean? The doctor basically said, hey, she's not going to be here. Neither your wife or your daughter are going to survive this thing. You know what I mean? So to see them both growing and flourishing and doing great, when I sit down and give that testimony, which I won't do tonight, that's not what this particular session is about. But when I give those testimonies, there are times that I still catch myself fighting back tears, especially when I get to talking about how my baby boy got here, and the reason that we're TikTok famous. He went viral at 48 hours old, wearing a full tuxedo on red carpet at home, but it was a big long testimony. That was the end of the testimony. So I guess I felt for Jamie in that way, because I have one of those testimonies as well. And again, I'm a church boy, so maybe I am a bit biased, because I believe in God, I believe in going to church, I believe in the power of testimony and the healing that comes out of sharing your story and sharing those stories, and knowing that there's going to be somebody that's going to be affected in some way. You know what I mean? So that's just the way I feel about that thing. Um, I loved the characters that he did. Mike Tyson, Denzel Washington, Cat Williams. I mean, he did a ton of them. Ray Charles, of course, is my absolute favorite. And again, please continue to type, people. I'm gonna read your comments and respond to them as well. Sweat says, I've had to catch myself too, because my sister beat cancer and is actually gonna have her make a wish tomorrow. Oh, wow. And despite the fact that I know she is okay, it still makes me tear up a little bit. Well, congratulations on her, um, you know, for all those things. You know what I mean? That is a very scary thing. I do not know how to, um, is there a way for me to subscribe to people while I'm in the live session? I'm gonna subscribe to you after it ends. I don't know how to do it while I'm here. Oh, it looks like I can add moderators too. T Marie, that's cool. I'm learning this thing as I go. Managing moderator can block words change. There you go. I made you a moderator here, T Marie. We're learning. Again, this is my actual first live session here on TikTok. So you guys, it's gonna be some bumps in the road and things gonna look real ghetto for a little while until I figure this thing all out. But to you, Sweat, congratulations. I am so happy to hear that your sister is doing well. She's gonna have her make her wish tomorrow, and I'm so glad that she beat cancer. There's a lot of people that did not. I'm so glad. How old is your sister, by the way? And what is her make or wish? Are you able to tell us? Is she meeting a celebrity or going to Disney World or something like that? Are you able to even talk about it? I don't know how any of that works. I am interested to know though. And how old is your sister? Oh, she's 7. Oh my God. You can have guest speakers too. I have never been live on YouTube, but I watch it a lot of panel discussions. How do I add guests? Oh, she's getting a Taylor Swift themed golf cart. That is amazing. Congratulations. Okay, can somebody tell me how to add a person? That would save my life. If somebody can walk me through adding a panelist, that would be that would really make this thing a lot better. How do I do this? How do I do that? I see send an invite to guests, but the way that I'm seeing these invites are via it says copy link, message, Facebook. If I hit copy link, where would I put this link? That's the question. I'm gonna and how do I am I able to type in the chat as well? Y'all gotta help me. Ah, y'all gotta help me. I'm learning on the job. Hello, Justin. How you doing tonight? I am trying to figure out how to add a guest. Yeah, you send them the link, and they should be able to click on it and join. How do I send the link? Do I have to send it in? Are those the only ways I could? I would send it in a private message. Oh, right now, look, it could be as public as we want it to be right now. I'm just trying to figure out how to get this thing going. Okay, T Marie, I'm gonna try to send it to you to see if I can add you in. I have your phone number. Is it gonna pull me out of here? T Marie, come on. Hold on, folks. I'm trying to figure this thing out. Okay, T Marie, I just sent you the link. I want you to click the link to see if you can join as a guest. If you can do that, that would really make a lot of difference here on this show. The other ways, uh, they use StreamYard. Now, StreamYard, I'm definitely not familiar with. Somebody interviewed me here on TikTok, and they use StreamYard. But again, I'm very new to this thing. I'm more of a TikTok creator. Wait, okay, it says Timory Mark wants to join. Add. Whoa! We did it!
Yep,
Thank you all, Timory.
I got it. You can see
Look
me?
at God! This is great. I did not
Okay.
know we could do this.
You got it. You can
No,
hear me and everything?
no, I can see you. This is so cool. Look at
Okay.
God. We're here. We're here. Okay, now why are you freezing up like that?
Am I freezing up?
Yeah, you got a little bit of lag. We have guests. Thank you all for helping me out on that. Now, where is Lavender? How many guests are you allowed to have here, people? That's the question. Well, they say it's not freezing for them. It may just be on my side.
Okay.
It may just be. I mean, your voice is coming through fine. It's just a little lag, and I look a
Okay.
lot more clear now. That's cool. Okay. Now where?
Where's
See,
Lavender?
does anybody know how many guests you can have up at one time? That's the next question. This is going to work out good because that means I can continue my interview style the same way that I do it, and we
Yeah.
can continue the panels the way that we do it, assuming that I can have more than one guest at a time.
Can you send an invite for someone else?
I don't know how. I was able to send it to you because I have your personal phone number, but I don't know. Now this not freezing. I don't know. They said they've seen 3 people. No, now when I hit the button to the same button that I hit for you, when I hit it there, it says remove you. So I think you have to be the person to do it. Do you see like a little button at the bottom of your screen with a little face or person?
Uh-uh.
It looks like mine just looked like a little person, kind of like it did on TikTok.
No, it's not on my side.
It's not on your side. Okay,
Uh-uh.
we got to figure out now. If we can figure out how to add another guest, we would have it going on. Okay, I can copy the link, but the problem is copy it and what? I don't know. Uh, let's talk. Let's see. Why can't I send it to Sweat? Or okay, whoa, what happened? T Marie, where did you go? We had a guest. Hi, Kia. How you doing tonight? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Right now, we're still having a couple of technical difficulties. I just had a guest up. I'm trying to figure out. Can you answer this question to me? How many guests can you have up in the chat at a time? Hey, fat. All right. Look, we can actually have guests here. Um, T Marie is looking for to figure out how many people you can have up at a time. I just had T Marie up and I'm able to copy the link and send it to you, but I just got to know how to send it to you. Is there a way for me to type back in the chat? That is the next question I have. Because I don't see a place where I can type. Hold on. Chatting options, type chat, link, live chat. Okay, I was able to send it to T Marie because I have her personal phone number. If you guys were attached to my Facebook, I can send it to you Facebook, and you just hit the link and it pops up just like it does on TikTok. T Marie right now is trying to figure out how many people you can have up at a time, but I just had her up, so I want to get you in, Fat, so we can try to get this thing moving in the way that we're used to moving. Um, I wish I had your phone number. This is terrible. Um, they have an email option. Can you are you hold on. Can you can you put your email? Are you okay with putting your email address down? I don't want you to put your phone number there. You can email your YouTube and then they can send the invite through. Yeah. Okay. Could you give me your email? Fat, give me your email and then I'll put your email in the chat and I'll email you the link and then have you pop up on the screen. We're trying to I'll figure out this thing as we go. This is cool. I'm learning on the job, folks. This runs a lot smoother on TikTok because I'm a master there, but right here I'm a complete beginner. In the comments, if you click on the person's account, you might be able to invite them there. Oh, okay, hold on. Okay, I clicked her name. It says pin message, remove, report, channel activity, add as a moderator, hide from channel. I do not see an option to send a link. Oh, here's a message. Wait, it says message, but nothing happens when I hit message. Y'all got to train me on this thing. I'm sorry, folks. We're learning on the job. Channel activity. It. Why can't I just type in the chat? I see add as a moderator. I do not see an option to invite you. Seems like I should be able to invite you, right? You can email. Yeah. Fat, give me your. Do you have an email, Fat? In the comments, if you click on the person's account, you might be able to invite. Am I not able to type in the comments myself? Because I don't see a keyboard. I don't see a way of me being able to type. Um, Fat, I need an email address. That wasn't good at all. Whoa. And what did I just do? Looks like I'm inverted. Nope. Now you see me there. Okay. I'm coming back in focus. That was looking very strange for a minute. All right. In the meantime, while I'm waiting on Fat to give me an email address or something, we're going to continue on in the conversation. So we are talking about the Jamie Foxx special. Fat, did you see the Jamie Foxx Netflix special? Yeah, I was looking real strange for a minute. My eye was looking like this big on this side. I don't know what you know what I'm saying. It didn't look cool. Then you're seeing all the trash in my downstairs. Downstairs, well, I have a Christmas tree downstairs. I have another one upstairs, but this is the one that we're putting all of the gifts under. My mother-in-law is currently she's still in the hospital, y'all. Um, and has been for quite some time. We're hoping she'll be out by Christmas. That's the reason for having the second tree downstairs. She's an amputee recently, so she's unable to get upstairs. So we put the tree downstairs, all the gifts, and we're gonna basically do all of Christmas. I'm gonna set up tables and all this stuff so we can do the entire Christmas deal right downstairs, so she can enjoy it without us trying to, figure out a way to get her upstairs. So hopefully she'll be out of the hospital by then. That's what we're praying for. You're gonna watch it when you go to work. Please do, Justin. It's definitely worth the watch. I do have my criticisms about it, but it is definitely one of those. It's basically people are calling it more of a variety show than a comedy special. I guess I can go along with that. He sings during it. He performs two, three songs, I think. One of them is just very, very funny. Two of them are serious and inspirational, gospel infused. Um, his daughter performs with him. He does the comedy, obviously, and he does a lot of the impressions. And then he basically does a montage of various characters that he's famous for. The one that I'm most attached with is always Ray. When that man turned around and put those glasses on and changed that voice and took on those mannerisms, when I tell you, my jaw hits the floor every time, because you cannot convince me that that man is not the real Ray Charles when he is in character. It is He earned that Oscar. We'll just leave it at that. It was that part got me as well, because just phenomenal talent. You should create an email that you can post in your about me, that you won't mind getting spam. That way, when people want to join the panel, they can send an email to you and you can send the link. Thank you so much. I will definitely take that advice. Um, Okay, I'll create an email that's especially for the YouTube channel, and that way in future sessions, people can just pop in, because we have a lot of guests on my TikTok page, and this is basically what we do on my TikTok page. My panel is pretty much full every single week, but again, we're migrating over and we're learning how this thing goes. So a lot of this is going to be touch and go for a while. But I'm learning as I'm going, and I'm like I say, I didn't even know that you can add guests directly here. I thought you just had to have the additional software in order to do it. So I'm excited to even know that I'm able to hit the button with the link. I just wish it were a little bit easier. On TikTok, it is just so you just hit a button and they just pop right up. But you know, my prayers are for you and your mother-in-law. Thank you so much for that. My mother-in-law has been in my life since I was 12 years old. Me and my wife, excuse me, have been together since we were 12. We met in 7th grade, just celebrated our 19th year of marriage. So yeah, she's basically grown up with me, you know what I mean? To see her, and she's only in her 60s, to see her going through this health decline is it's a little bit touching. It's quite sad at times, but her spirits are lifted. She has two grandchildren. The only grandkids she have has are my daughter and my son. And when you sit down and talk to her, she says that that is largely her reason for continuing to be here with us. So God works in mysterious ways. He actually, he brought us got that first baby here through all of our trials and tribulations, and he got that second baby here to keep our spirits lifted. So I just thank God for things being as good as they are, and I thank you for your prayers as well, because prayers do truly change things. So I appreciate you for that. Maybe when TikTok gets banned, YouTube will take some of their ideals for lives. It would be nice, yeah, to have a request button. When I tell you, it is so easy over there. I don't know if you're familiar with it, or if you're active on TikTok. I have nearly a quarter of a million TikTok family members. I don't say the word followers because I'm a regular old person, but when I say it's just you just tap a button, people just pop up. It's spectacular. It's really, really good. It's really, really good. Okay. In the meantime, we're going to continue on with this session. Next session will go a little bit smoother. I'm going to definitely take that advice and create another email address, and it'll include the link so that you're able to join the session and join the conversation. I wish my other co-host was here. Lavender, you all are going to love her. For those of you who have not met her, she's going to become my permanent co-host at some point in the future once we get these not TikTok, but this YouTube thing moving in the way that it should be moving. And like I said, it's going to be great to have that yin and that yang. I consider myself the good cop in the situation. She's definitely the bad cop, but she's very respectful and highly intelligent. So I think we mesh really well on TikTok, and I think we're going to do pretty well here as well. So we just got to learn how to get everything up and going. Again, if she were here tonight, I could have sent the link to her and she could come up and introduce herself, but I think she had a date that she had scheduled. It's her birthday weekend, so she told me that she may or may not be able to come over and be a part of this, but I'm pretty sure she'll be here next week. In the meantime, we're going to continue on with the conversation regarding the Jamie Foxx. So, what I am hearing, I do hear a lot more positivity here than I have in the comment section for the various videos that I put out about it. Do you guys have any complaints about it? I've seen people that complained that it was too churchy. They actually thought that his impersonations or the impressions that he did were not very good. I thought they were very, very good. My favorites were Donald Trump and Jay-Z. I thought they were all good. Did you guys think that the impersonations were good or bad or just mid, as the young people say? I'll wait. We got four people here. I thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. It's just my first time. Again, things are going to get better. It's just I am learning as I'm going. It's on the job training. We have about almost 6,000 subscribers here, and I thank each and every one of you. But this is technically my first time going live, and we've gained that following just based on. Oh, my mom texted me. I'm at work tonight. I will miss it. Yeah, mama, you might be at work, but I'm not even on TikTok tonight. I'm on YouTube. but uh oh, okay. Sorry, thought that was a new comment. But yeah, so we're nearing 6,000 subscribers. I'm super excited, and that was based on a lot of the shorts that we basically copied and pasted over to YouTube, and that happened because we got banned on TikTok once for a month for something that was totally ridiculous. They said that I wasn't a grown up. I don't know how. I got kids that's almost grown, but it took me a month to get that page back. And when I got it back, I said I would never put myself in a position where all my eggs are in one basket. So I started moving all of my content over. So there's content here that's exclusive to TikTok. To YouTube. There's content on TikTok that wouldn't do well over here, so I didn't use it in both places. But again, we'll be here full time soon. So this is just one of many sessions. Get used to seeing me. I thank you all for being here this first time. You know what I mean? I promise you the show is going to get better. We're going to do just as well here as we did on TikTok. It just takes a little bit of time, a little bit of growth, and a lot of work. You know what I mean? So I just thank you all for being here tonight with my very first session. With that, I do want to talk a little bit about the trophy wife. Let's talk about the trophy wife. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the trophy wife. She was famous here. She's uber famous on YouTube, right, or TikTok right now. She got famous. She was following the sprinkle lady. Got a warning that TikTok we're telling the lady that was insulting someone else's looks that pretty don't mean correct and ugly don't mean wrong, but her comment is still up. Oh, yes, TikTok is ridiculous. TikTok, me and my daughter shot a promo, a video that we got paid for a company. It was a cell phone case. My daughter was dressed in a full prom dress. It was spaghetti strap, but that was it. Only thing that was showing was her shoulders. And if you know anything about me, you know I don't play about my kids. You know what I mean? I believe in children dressing and acting age appropriate. If you watched any of our shorts or any of our TikTok videos, you know my daughter does not twerk. My daughter does not cuss. My daughter is not naked. My daughter, I'm just very old fashioned in that way. But they basically took our video down and made us reshoot it because they said that we were violating a nudity, that we were promoting nudity because she had on a spaghetti strap prom dress. Insanity. I've gotten comments taken down from using a laughing emoji when someone's called my son a monkey, and that their video stayed up. I mean, their comment stayed up. Someone threatened to grape my daughter, and that comment stayed up until I made a retaliation video. And it wasn't until I made the retaliation video and it went viral that the comment disappeared. And it wasn't because TikTok took it down, it was because the person got so much backlash from it, that they found where he lived, they found what company he worked for, and they went to spamming his company page so much that he had to change the name of the page. And when you type in the name of his company out of Tennessee, my video pops up because it was really bad, really really bad. But the fact that TikTok allowed him to issue that threat and never took it down was just very wrong to me, and I spoke out against it. So yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from. Me too. I don't buy into um, prostitute clothing. I guess that's what you're saying. I prefer my kids to be a little conservative until they make their own choice. Exactly. When you're an adult, I want you to be an adult and enjoy being an adult. But as long as you're a child, I want you to behave like a child and to dress appropriately. You know what I mean? You got the rest of your life to be an adult. I don't need you to be Russian. That's just the way I feel about it. I'm very, very old fashioned that way. All right. Let's talk about the trophy wife. So trophy wife, she got famous, and I'm not laughing at the situation. It's a very devastating situation, but it's just the way that she handled it that I just find to be ridiculous. She was following the sprinkle lady, this lady that basically tells you how to get a rich man, how to get a rich man, and how to live the soft life. So she followed her. She was 17 when she started having babies. Mind you, she is, I believe, 29 years old and she's on her fifth baby. She had to start having babies at 17 intentionally. She decided to follow Sprinkle, and she met a man online. She was in a relationship with another man. Gotta go. Oh, thank you so much. Have a good one, Sweat. I hope to see you again. I'll be back next Friday. I'll try to get on about 9, 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. So I do hope you'll join me for a future session. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. God bless you. Congratulations to your sister. See you next time. So Sprinkle, She followed the sprinkle lady. She broke up with a man because the man didn't like the two sons that she had. Met a man online, bought him an engagement ring, moved into his house, married him. See, have a good one. Married him within a week. Got raped 4 times by him. Stayed with him because he had money. Had 2 children with this man, and then she's now famous because she's telling the world that this man essayed both his biological daughters. Right. Again, I feel totally sorry for these kids, but I made a video where we talked about the accountability piece when it comes down to the mom. Mom, you know this man was a danger to your children. Here's a danger to you. He assaulted you, and you stayed with him. So I think there's a bit of accountability that needs to be placed on mom for putting any of her children, the sons that she had prior and the children that she had with him, in that level of danger. People did not like my take on that. They came after me. She did an interview here recently on YouTube. 2-hour interview, even worse than the interview than the moments that made her famous. In this interview, she said that her 2 children were, thank you, thank you, thank you, Yellowtail. There's accountability. That's all I'm saying. Yes, she's a victim to an extent. Your children are totally innocent in this matter. My thing is, why are you peddling these children's stories? She called her children sacrificial lambs. Sacrificial lambs. And I was outraged because neither of your children were nailed to a cross and unalived for our sins. So why are you saying that they are sacrificial lambs? If you want to say that your children are sacrificial lambs, then you're also going to have to admit that you played a part in that sacrifice and you helped nail them to the cross because you put them in harm's way. Okay? That's my take. You are continuing to nail these children to the cross each and every time that you tell their story. These kids are like 2 and 4. When do you, as a mother, say, okay, maybe I don't want, first of all, these videos are going to live forever, but the world should know. And I'm not saying you have to keep it a secret from the courts, obviously. We want this man to go to jail. But to peddle this, you're peddling this story at this point. You're taking your story on the road. In this same interview, there was a doctor, God, I can't remember her name, but the doctor says basically, you need to take a break from social media, and she said, you need to write me a check if you want me to take a break. Does that sound like somebody that's that concerned about the sacrificial lambs? Because if you're sacrificing anything, you're sacrificing your children for money at this point. You're peddling this story for money. It's a sad story. It's devastating, even. But you're more concerned about your YouTube, the state of your YouTube page. She was more outraged that GoFundMe wouldn't allow her to pull the money out of the GoFundMe than she is about continuing to traumatize her children, because these kids are going to grow up. These kids are going to go to school. They're going to be people that are going to be coming up to these kids telling them, oh, I know that what your daddy did to you. You know what I mean? These kind of things. So I'm just not a fan. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of her because I don't want to call her a gold digger, but that's just the way I feel about people that marry people just for finances. And you're not going to tell me you fell in love with somebody in a week after one date. You know what I mean? No, I just don't believe that. You fell in love with his wallet. So you know what I mean? And that's okay. If you want to marry somebody for money, that's your prerogative. But somebody once told me that if you marry for money, you're going to earn every penny. And she's earned every penny. And now the question I have is it worth it? Was it worth it? I don't think so. I just don't think so. I do full investigations and look up court records before I went on a date before I was married. Oh, I like that, Yellowtail. Now again, I'm fortunate in that me and my wife met when we were 12. I could not imagine being in the dating pool at this point. There's just absolutely no way. There's no way I would do that. But yeah, I would be right along with you doing background checks, trying to figure out because people are crazy. People are just nuts now. So I don't blame you at all. How long have you been married, Yellowtail? Justin, which begs the question: if he is still out and walking around, did it really happen? Very good question. Because I thought the court system say you are innocent until proven guilty, and he is now guilty in public opinion based on this story that you just keep telling over and over again. And we have literally no proof that any of this transpired outside of her word versus his word at this point. And again, I'm not attempting to victim blame or to, you know, do anything like that. But what I'm saying is what gets me, I've watched multiple interviews that this woman has given. Never once has she said this man's name. Now, of course, people have Googled it and found the name and the face, but if your goal is to protect other children or to warn other women about this man, why is it that we have to go and figure out what his name is? Why is it that we don't know his name? That's my question. So I'm right along with you, Justin. You didn't date until you were 24. You've been married 5 years. Congratulations. I think that's great. Um, Now, like I say, I'm an anomaly, and I recognize that. But my daughter is 16. She's still not dating. Well, she wasn't allowed to even start dating until she's 16. Until she turned 16. She just turned 16 back in October, but she's still not dating. And I think her standards are so high. We're looking at the relationship with me and her mom. That I think it's going to be very difficult to date her. She just, she has self esteem that's been built up um, intentionally with me and her mom. And I think it's just going to be difficult for her to find somebody. You know what I mean? So, good and bad, but I think it's great to wait until you're mature to enter into relationships because relationships take a lot out of people. You know what I mean? So I don't have any problems with that. I think that's a great age to date. Let me ask this though, Yellowstone, was your husband your first the first person you dated, or how many people did you date before you found the husband? I guess is the real question. I'd like to know. Cool. We'll wait on it. But yeah. So yeah, trophy wife. Mm-mm. She's getting less sympathy from me with every word that comes out of her mouth. She was very combative throughout this interview with the counselor, with the panelists, with the people that called in with questions. Very combative, and it just really it felt like she was beginning to take that mask off, and I didn't like what I saw. I didn't like her with the mask on. So when she started taking the mask off, I really, she's a beautiful woman, very very beautiful, but I think that the insides are rotten. You know what I mean? You dated two guys before him, but we were each other's first intimate. Oh, congrats! That's awesome. Yeah, me and my wife were each other's first everything, everything. So I know how special that is. You know what I mean? There's a connection there that is just unparalleled, which is why I wish people would take dating relationships and intimacy especially a lot more serious than they do. You know what I'm saying? People just fly by night. They do it. You know what I mean? Just whatever. I'm not with the Netflix and chill generation, especially if you're not Netflix and chilling with your spouse. I'm just very old fashioned in that way. So I'm with you 100% on that, Yellowstone. So yeah, yeah. I think that's just the way. I think honestly that a lot of this baby mama, baby daddy drama, a lot of this unwanted pregnancies, a lot of this turmoil between the sexes would not be here if we would go back to being, a little bit more old fashioned with regards to courting and dating and intimacy. I just think because we're in that anything goes type situation now, that things just get just the way they are, convoluted and chaotic, And I just think that we should just go back to some of those old ways. I really do. I think it would benefit us all. But I'm just one person in the world. And I'm, sitting here married 19 years. So nobody wants to hear from me. They don't want my advice. They want to hear the Kevin Samuel Juniors. They don't want a regular Joe, a regular vanilla guy. You know what I mean? That's been happily married all these years and doing okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I thank you for that, Justin. This is a couple of us left in the world that still have good sense, but we've gotten so far away from you know the way that marriage is designed and what a marriage is about that this is just where we've arrived. Just pure chaos. Just pure chaos. Absolutely love was more simple. Yeah, it was. Yeah, when it wasn't so analyzed and scrutinized. I totally agree with you 100% on that, Yellowtail. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Oh, wow. All right, folks. I said I was going to run this session for about an hour. Again, this is my very first session. So I wanted to test the waters. I want to get off and see what I can do with the content to see if I'm able to re-upload it and make it a part of my content so people can know what to expect the next time around. And again, things are gonna look kind of ghetto for a while. By ghetto, I mean just unpolished. You know what I mean? Because I'm learning as I go. So I thank you all for this lesson. I thank you all for being here with me tonight. Again, I am on TikTok, faithandbishop2. But again, this is our new home here on YouTube, Faith and Bishop 2544. So please come back next week. I will be here exclusively on Fridays, just as I was on TikTok. Right now, I'm doing both worlds, where I'll stay over there for about an hour and a half, and then I'll come over here. I got on about was that 10 o'clock, a little bit after 10. So I'll try to keep the same schedule. If it's not 10, it'll be 9. And we'll run a session for about an hour. And as I improve, these sessions will get a lot more elaborate and a lot more detailed. Basically, I talk about any and everything. There are current events that we will discuss. There will be special guests from time to time. Um, Over the last month, I've interviewed like 3 of the biggest TikTok people during their viral moments. Aunt D was one of them that I interviewed. I interviewed oh God, the Resilient Jenkins. If you know anything about them, I interviewed the husband, the wife, and the baby mama. So I land some really great interviews, and then there'll be times where it's just us. Where we're gonna, you know, laugh a little, cry a little, talk about some real life things. You know what I mean? Because that's just who I am. I'm all about helping people. I'm just here to serve the people. I'm here to create a space that is open, where people can be themselves, where we can talk, we can fuss, we can argue, we can get upset. But at the end of the day, we're going to respect each other because we are brothers and sisters in Christ. At the end of the day, I don't know if you believe or not, but that's just the way I believe. So I treat everybody that comes to my sessions as my brother or my sister. So we can fuss, we can argue, but we're going to respect each other. You know what I mean? So there's no cursing that's ever allowed for people that will be in my boxes as panelists or guests. No cussing are allowed down here. We're going to respect each other. Again, you don't have to respect the opinion, and again, I always ask people, if you're going to attack anything, let's attack the topic. Let's not attack the person. So I have a zero tolerance for personal attacks on myself or anybody else. So if you're going to attack anything, it has to be the topic. And we deal with a lot of very difficult topics here. Tonight is a pretty light night for me. But we do handle some very serious topics. So again, it'll be a mix between current topics, current issues, and then things that just go on in society, relationships, the ups, the downs. We talk about it all. I mean, there's no subject that is off limits. So if you find that to be intriguing, please come back. I will be live here every week on Fridays. So just hit that button, like, share, subscribe, comment. That's the only way for people to discover me and for this place to grow, just as my TikTok group. And again, TikTok is about to be done, and I'm finishing up with nearly 250,000 people in a little bit over 2 years. So that is a testament to just how committed I am to the people, how committed I am to putting out great content. If you haven't checked out my videos, please do. They are hilarious. We do a lot of in our videos. And again, if you watch closely enough, a lot of our videos actually have messages that are buried in them. But they're comedic, they're fun, they're funny, they're entertaining, they're dramatic. We do it all. We do it all. It's full service over here. I call ourselves BET. Bonner Entertainment Television. So if you like that, please come on back. I appreciate you all. I thank you so much for sticking around tonight, people. Yellowstone, I thank you for hanging out with me in the comments. I thank you so much, Justin, as well. T Marie was here. I don't know if she's still here. She should be. T Marie is my sister from TikTok, so I know and love her, as well as Miss Fat. She's Kia here. So I thank each and every one of you for being here with me tonight. With that, I'm going to go ahead and close out. I love you all with the love of God. Please hug on somebody. Understand, I'm coming up with a new tag here. And this is the tag that will be used in each of my live sessions and in any of my long form content. If you're looking for the tea, you've arrived at the wrong channel. I drink water over here. I'm a grown man, and I mind my own business unless you invite me into yours. And with that, we'll begin and end each show. So, well, I love you all. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you all for joining me. God bless you. See you.